Good morning, y'all. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, y'all.
To start off this year, I wanted to help you guys create some yearly art goals. And you can also use this advice with non-art goals. Now, this is coming from someone who always thought when they were younger that New Year's resolutions were kind of dumb and a waste of time. I do think it's foolish to wait for it to be a new year to start something. If you really want to achieve a goal, then just go for it. I fear people try to wait for a new year as an excuse as to why they can't start working towards their goal sooner, and that is foolish. I also think some New Year's resolutions are dumb because the resolution is almost unachievable unless that is the only thing you are focused on for the whole year.
Stop pooping.
Given how long a year is, I find that close to impossible to do. Let's get started. Here's how I tend to set up my art goals. Habits. Firstly, I don't set any goals that are for every day of the year. I know that it's unrealistic for me as life might get in the way one day, or it might simply slip my mind. I also feel the goal itself is just do it every day or you fail. You won't feel/know if you succeeded until the very end of the year. So in turn, it's not something you can cross off your list till the very end of the year either. Instead, if I have a goal that I want to do every day, I'll set it up as do blank for 30 days in a row. If you've never set a daily goal like this, I highly recommend you go for 7 days and see how you feel. Maybe you find that your weekends are too filled to try to do it then, so it switches to weekdays, or maybe you set a goal for doing something for an hour and find that too hard to do, so you change it up to 30 minutes. I highly recommend you go as low as possible at the start and slowly ramp up, as it's better to build the habit and your confidence before pushing yourself. That way you can look back and have proof that you can do it. It's just the new load of work is too much. In the beginning, you want to get into the habit of doing your desired task. So typically having a goal of 1 minute is something fairly achievable. If you want to get into the habit of going to the gym, maybe your goal is just to put on your gym clothes every day. Then once you are dressed, you think, why not go to the gym as well? An object in motion tends to stay in motion. Sometimes the hardest part of completing a goal is just getting started. So make the barrier to entry as low as possible. After getting comfortable in your routine, if you need to push yourself more, slowly adjust your goals. This might look like going from 1 minute to 5 minutes. I recommend taking baby steps if you are new to learning what tasks are too much for you. However, no matter what, you should pick a date in about a week or so to evaluate your adjusted routine. Then repeat the process of adjusting the goalposts as needed. The reason why we are setting small goals and adjusting is because we are trying to figure out what works without failing. I'm not sure if others are like this, but anytime I fail the task of doing something for every day, I feel super bad. However, I'm not sure when I would have celebrated my success. That's why we set small goals to feel proud before trying to push ourselves outside our comfort zone. Most of the time, doing something every day are habits you want to get into. So it's important to note that these habits don't happen overnight. While we are here, I want to talk about habit stacking as a way to accomplish your habit goals. Habit stacking is when you try to get into a new habit by stacking it on top of another habit. If you have a morning routine or a night routine, you might want to place it there. For example, maybe you tell yourself after you brush your teeth in the morning, you are going to practice anatomy, or whatever goals you have. Adding on to an existing habit makes it a lot easier to remember and gets us into the motion of doing it faster. At the end of it all, what is most important is what works for you. Set yourself up for success as much as you can. If something isn't working, the only thing you can do is adjust. Something that doesn't work won't just magically work for you because you want it to. This section is pretty long because this is one of the things I struggle with the most. So I wanted to give as much advice as I could. If what I suggest isn't working, I beg you to keep looking at other habit advice on YouTube. You don't have to follow one person, and you can make a hodgepodge of things if that's what works for you. What's most important is figuring out what you can reasonably achieve.
Funny.
Projects. When setting up a project, just like before, I try to keep it at something that won't take longer than a month to finish. Some projects might take longer with life and other events, but it should be something that you feel if you started with a clear head at this very moment, you could finish in a month. I recommend breaking the project into smaller goals for you to achieve to make it more bite-sized. If you are making a manga, maybe that includes scripting, drafting, outlining, color, and so forth, along with whatever comes between. If your project is instead something like cleaning out your closet, maybe you set a timer for 5 minutes or however long you have and work on cleaning it till it goes off. If you're still motivated to clean after the timer rings, then maybe you clean for just a little bit longer. Instead of telling yourself you'll clean out the whole closet, you tell yourself that you're just going to clean till the timer goes off. This makes it more digestible and easier to tackle. Goals outside your control. One of my goals that I don't mind revealing to you guys right now is getting monetized on YouTube.
Money, please. Money, please. Money, please.
This is a goal that I can work hard for, but is ultimately in the hands of others. No matter how hard I work for it, it might just not happen. When making a goal like this, I recommend you keep it to only 1 or 2 of your yearly goals. You don't want all your goals for the year to be in the hands of others, or else there will be nothing for you to do except work hard and hope. Easy goals. I make sure to throw in some easy ones from time to time. A goal this year I had was to start a YouTube channel documenting my art journey. At the end of the day, I could have done that at any time. The hardest part was taking the first step, so I made that the whole goal. Rewards. Lastly, I look over the goals I've made. I try to think how many I can realistically accomplish. Typically for me, this is around 5 goals for the year, as my goals may take up to a month to complete if I made them correctly. I try to give myself double the amount of time I think I'll need for each goal, plus an extra month. I was once told that in the corporate world, giving an overestimated of double the amount of time you think you'll need is best, in case you run into any issues. So I try to do the same thing for myself, but I set a reward for completing just 5. This reward can be anything, but I wouldn't recommend doing something that counteracts your goals. For example, if your goals were related to losing weight, your reward shouldn't be getting to stuff your face at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Instead, make it something like buying a new wardrobe for your new body, or maybe make it something completely unrelated, like taking a day off work and just relaxing at home. Whatever feels like a reward for completing a successful year is what you should do. I wouldn't recommend setting a reward for completing all your goals, because if you set big goals, then it will be near impossible for you to complete all of them. This was the reason why we set so many big goals, so we wouldn't feel locked in and forced to complete goals we outgrew. The best way to set reasonable art goals is to give yourself time to breathe and understand that the goal isn't to complete everything, but to improve your art and to grow. Set yourself up for success, but most importantly, give yourself grace. That's all for now. I love you lots. There's something in my eye. I have successfully gotten it out of my eyeball. Yay!